On October 16th, 2022, one of the most disturbing pieces of camping footage ever recorded was uploaded to YouTube. The video came from a channel called Work Less, Enjoy Life More. The uploader was out on a solo RV camping trip just south of Williams, Arizona, when, in the middle of the night, he suddenly heard something that would leave anyone frozen in fear. A woman's voice, screaming for help from somewhere deep in the forest. Unsettled, he decided to start recording and investigate. But if you're someone who enjoys camping alone, you might want to skip this one. You've been warned.
Hello?
At first, everything seems normal. You can see him shining his flashlight across the trees, scanning the dark woods, calling out to see if anyone responds. You can tell he's nervous, but still trying to stay calm. Then, after hesitating for a moment, he decides to move closer toward the sound. That's when things take a terrifying turn.
Okay, that's creepy. What do you want? I just heard that. I just heard the bay door open.
In the distance, someone's standing between the trees. The uploader instantly bolts back to his van, slamming the door behind him. But before he can even process what just happened, you can hear someone trying to crawl underneath the RV. For several tense minutes, he stays completely still, trying not to make a sound. Eventually, his van alarm goes off. And that's when whoever was outside finally takes off running into the darkness. The video ends shortly after, with the uploader saying he was genuinely scared for his life, and that he isn't sure he ever wants to go camping again. And honestly, after watching this, I can't say I blame him. On June 4th, 2024, YouTuber Creepy Outdoors uploaded a chilling piece of footage that left many of his viewers genuinely shaken. Now, Creepy is no stranger to camping alone in remote forests. In fact, that's what his entire channel is about. Most of his videos are quiet, slow-paced, and strangely calming. Just him, his camera, and the sound of nature. Usually, nothing unusual ever happens, but this trip was different. He was out camping deep inside a dense Canadian forest, with only his dog, Mika, by his side. At first, everything seemed perfect. He chopped some wood, did a bit of axe throwing, and set up his fire for the night. But as the sun started to fade, the atmosphere completely changed.
Creepy Outdoors here. By myself camping, as usual. And I'm a little shook up right now because I heard some strange sounds. Stay here, Mika. Stay here. It sounded like some sort of growling. I'm not sure. I wasn't recording. I was just enjoying my night and hello? Shh. It's okay. I'm just talking to my dog right now. What the? Mika, stay here. Stay. Come, stay. Stay here, good boy. Good boy, stay, sit down. Hello?
He suddenly starts recording again after hearing something move in the distance. Moments later, the sound becomes clear. Loud knocking, followed by the crack of branches snapping nearby. He calmly tells Mika to stay close, but the tension in his voice says it all.
What the fuck? What the? Calm down. There's been a lot of dead trees around. Maybe Maybe it's Mika. Oh no. Come on. Mika! Oh no. Mika, come back. Oh shit. This dog is... Come here. What are you doing? Stay here. What's out there, boy? You all right? Stay. Sit. I have no idea what the hell this is. I'm hoping it's like a bear or something just walking by, but there's these banging sounds on both ends. I'm not... Stay. Stay.
Minutes pass. The forest goes quiet again. But Creepy admits on camera that he hopes it's a bear, and not something worse. And honestly, that already tells you how uneasy he was feeling. Luckily, he made it through the night unharmed, but what exactly was out there still remains a mystery. Was it a bear? Or something else watching from the darkness? If that were me, I wouldn't have waited around to find out. Sort of Interesting is a UK-based camping YouTuber who's all about simple outdoor living. Quiet camps, minimal gear, and peaceful nights under the stars. But in this particular upload, his first ever solo wild camp didn't go exactly as planned. At first, Dan does what he always does, showing off his setup and explaining his gear as he hikes into the forest. It was meant to be a calm, cold, and rainy night, but as it turns out, the weather wasn't the only thing he'd have to worry about.
So I've been walking for about an hour at this point, and it really is amazing the difference that the backpack has made. And also the fact I'm using a much dimmer light is starting to make me think I'm sure I can hear stuff and see little flashes and that. I'm sure I can't, but I can't be sure in here where I need to be. So yeah, quick backpack rest, and then we're gonna get, in fact I might get the stove out now, find a spot on the way ahead. At this point, I thought I would see if I could find a nice big flat stone or somewhere safe that I could set up my stove and make myself some pasta, pesto and cheese, and also lose a bit of weight from my backpack while doing so. And so I thought, yeah, put the torch onto full beam and get some visually interesting spooky woodland footage. And well, did I get some spooky footage?
As he ventures deeper into the woods, the atmosphere starts to shift. The trees grow denser, the wind picks up, and even Dan starts to joke about how spooky the forest feels at night. But what he captures next is no joke at all.
Dim lights only now. I was just shining the torch around on full beam, showing like the woods to the camera. Some car somewhere on a road up there stopped, and I swear a torch shone into the trees, obviously from well above my head, but it's just spooked me a bit. Oh man, my heart is going. I swear the car that I just mentioned pulled up and somebody's got out. I don't know if it's just coincidence. I'm trying to tell myself that, but I am really, oh my goodness me. I know. This isn't fun, this. I am so stupid. I am the stupidest person I don't know if you can see that they are literally scanning up and down. They are literally... Can you see this on the ground? They're literally looking straight at me. I know. I don't know what to do. I'm literally crouched. I'm sound.
Out of nowhere, a car suddenly stops nearby. A man steps out, shining a flashlight through the trees, scanning the area slowly. Dan goes completely silent. You can hear the fear in his voice as he whispers to the camera, trying to stay hidden in the dark. After a few tense moments, he decides to quietly head back toward the main trail, and that's when the car drives off.
I'm about 90% certain they drove in that direction. I decided to proceed along the road on my intended route to escape into the hills as quick as possible, but use my red light so that I was far less visible at a distance. And I'll be honest, at this point I've got that horrible adrenaline sensation in my chest, and I've got loads of video recorded from this section, but I'm just constantly talking, I think, trying to reassure myself and make myself feel better and calmer. So of course, when I get to the hills, we've got really bad weather starting to roll in, proper thick fog coming in and blowing through in patches. Obviously the last place you want low visibility is near any cliff tops. So in the end I was like, right, I just need something to eat. I'm so hungry, I've been on my feet all day, and in the end on this day I walked 16 miles overall. So I found a nice little sheltered area and the weather started to hold off and ease up a bit. So it was that, worn out and worried, I took a moment to just gather myself, get a grip, and generally calm down and think sensibly about what my plan for the rest of the night and the morning was going to be. In typical
Luckily, Dan manages to slip away unnoticed, using only his red light to stay concealed. He eventually sets up camp somewhere safer and ends the night there. But one question still lingers. Who was that man in the car, and what was he doing out there, deep in the forest, in the middle of the night? On September 1st, 2025, an unsettling piece of footage was uploaded to YouTube by a user called Northern Lights. It was filmed by a man named Felix back in 2018, somewhere deep in Nunavik, the northernmost region of Quebec. Nunavik is known as the homeland of the Inuit, but as this video shows, it's also home to something much more terrifying. Felix was out on a hunting trip, spending the night in a small wooden cabin, when he was suddenly woken up around 1:30 in the morning by something he'll never forget. Take a look. The clip starts abruptly, showing a massive polar bear standing right against the window, its paws pressed on the glass. It's clear the animal wants to get inside, likely searching for food. Felix tries to stay calm, whispering quietly, but you can hear the panic in his breathing. Minutes later, the bear slowly wanders off, but the nightmare wasn't over yet. Moments later, another bear, even larger this time, appears outside the cabin. You can see its silhouette moving around the structure, sniffing and pacing. The only thing separating Felix from the predator is a thin wooden wall, and he knows it. His voice grows shaky, and the tension is almost unbearable. Fortunately, after what felt like an eternity, the bear finally disappears. Felix was safe, but I can't imagine how terrifying it must have been. Trapped in a cabin in the middle of nowhere with one of nature's most dangerous animals just inches away. Not disturbed? Then check out one of the videos on your screen right now.